Okay, I'm back. She's still up, but hopefully she stays a little so that I could get through this. Like I was saying, I want to show you some of the stuff that I made. Again, the yarn is either from Stash or it's the Michael's Karen big cake, not the regular size, but the big one. And so here's what I have. And again, I don't have that feature that I can flip the phone around like to see what's in front of me. So I have to turn the phone manually. So pardon this. So here is one of the gifts, and um, uh, the I found the pattern on YouTube, and it's basically like just a cowl poncho, and this is the V. Sorry, this is the V stitch for crocheting. I did a lot of crocheting because crocheting was doing working up faster for me. And so the next one is again the V stitch, but this one is like a long shawl. And what I did was I adapted the pattern. This size of pattern, this size of the shawl was actually for a different pattern. And I find that I don't listen very well to people and when instructions, because essentially instructions are telling you what to do, I find that my brain has a hard time um, doing what I am told to do, which is not a really good thing. And this one, I was in the V-stitch mode, honey. This one is a cowl that I made from leftover yarn that a friend gave me. Okay. So this is a V-stitch that I adapted again from the YouTube pattern for a little kid. Now I started with the fringe, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with the fringe. How about you guys? You guys let me know what you think about like whether or not I should continue on with the fringe. Again, this is the Karen cake. This was leftover yarn from the mommy one. This again is the V-stitch. And I'm sorry I didn't tell you that this one is the waffle stitch that I used. Again, this is crocheted. Okay, so this is the mommy. So as you can tell, the big Karen cake makes a really decent size shawl, cowl shawl. I used a J hook, I think, a J or the hook below. So to get this, all right. Then I did the waffle stitch, and again the Karen cake. And this one was the cake, not the big cake. And this is the waffle stitch. Again, is for a child, and I'm hoping that it fits because it's a gift. And you fold it down, or you leave it up. So when I was thinking about it, I was thinking about how to get the most out of the yarns that I do have. I started making another cowl. Let me move this out of the way. I started making another cowl, a granny square type of cowl. And I just wasn't liking the weight. Not that I wasn't liking the way I didn't have enough yarn, because this yarn is actually from this one, the leftover from this one. And so I made it, but I made it too big. And I decided to try and make a slouchy hat instead, so that I could have a slouchy hat that goes with the cowl for the recipient. And I'm not even gonna say who it is for, but hopefully they like it. But I don't think I'm gonna actually have enough yarn to finish the cowl. So I'm gonna have to go to Michael's and pick some up. So I do have other knitting things that I was doing. Like I was working on socks. Obviously, I'm always working on socks. So I was working on socks, and then I'm working on this shawl made by Megan from Zombie Knits or something like that. I can't even remember the name. But she put out a whole like series of different types of shawls that have like the armhole. and I purchased it, and I had wanted to do it with the cow. Unfortunately, again, I wasn't able to do it. So I'm trudging along with it now that the gift making is not, kind of still for right now, because I have to meet the rest of my family. I think January 11th. I think we're all getting together, and so I still have some stuff that I need to make, and but I'm trudging along with that. Um, the other thing, oh, sorry, my brain. I'm thinking about her, and this inability to flip the damn camera. But I'm gonna do the best that I can. So uh, let me just rearrange my thoughts, and I'm good to go. I'm gonna figure out where to place you. I think I think there's, look, my panda. You see, I'm always with a panda. Oh, and check out the, okay. I wish I knitted this. This is definitely knitted. Mr. Jack right here from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Get you one. Hot Topics. I love this. So it's currently cold in my apartment. I have the heater, the space heater going on, but it's more for the baby than for me. I could always, just roll up the sleeves if I get hot or cold or whatever. So I wanted to do a memory quilt, like I had been telling you about. And so the memory quilt is like, I didn't want to do something, again, this is my first one, and I just want to get a feel for it. So what I thought about doing was just like a collage of the clothes that she used throughout her first year of life. So she was born in April, and so that time is, we got 4 more months till April, and so that time is almost near. And I have a ton, let me tell you, a ton of clothes. So I was brain fucking for half of 2019 about how I wanted to get it done. I wrote out a whole bunch of lists. I had another notebook that just talked about ideas. And today I'm sitting here, New Year's Day. Happy New Year's again. So excited. I can't wait. But today I'm sitting down and I'm looking at, because I like, again, I wanted to go through like just getting it done. So I was sitting down looking at different types of quilts, different quilt patterns, and I found a quilt stripes. Quilt stripes. So then I was like, if I'm doing quilt stripes, because it was saying like use up your scraps, and she has a small, some of this stuff is small, right? So it was saying like use up your scraps and blocks, and I'm trying to use as much of her clothes as possible. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna do the stripes. Before that, I was brain fucking all the way through, and I was trying to figure out like how to make the blocks from the different types of clothes, and that's why I started off. This is how I started off, was making these blocks from her different outfits. Okay. So I started to do it, and I had to buy interfacing, which stabilizes. This is what I learned. Stabilizes the yarn. You hear me? I'm ready, honey. I want to knit. Got it on the brain. It stabilizes the fabric, because baby fabrics are stretchy. Interfacing stabilizes the fabric. So like I was doing a whole bunch of research and everything like that. I had cut these out before. I had cut these out before doing when last year, and I was just like researching, and I cut these out, and then I stopped because I was confused as to what I wanted to do. And then today, like I said, I was just like, I'm gonna get it done. So these pieces were cut out already. This was cut out already because the idea is that this was going to be my main, like the middle. And so they have the quilting as you go, and so I'm gonna start quilting as I go. So that I have this, you're kicking me smalls as the middle. See it, right? Oh my God, I love it. Sandlot, I love it. Instead of you're killing me, is you're kicking me. So, but anyway, so I have that, and then I have these blocks. So I'm trying to figure out like how big I want the quilt overall to be. And then I decided at the last minute, like I'm just going with my gut here, people. I'm not doing like a whole bunch of research into it. I found what I needed to find. And so I'm just going to go ahead and just do it instead of like, all right, I have an idea. Let me just see this. Let me see that. I get the basics and then I'm just going to move from it. So I have the basics now. I have this piece. This at the end of the day is what I want to work on. Okay. And so they have like, I can do the strips, which I think it would be pretty cool, is to cut these, and I don't even have to get a ruler and figure it out, but basically make this into strips, make all of the clothes into strips, and then either build a block from it or just make it a straight up, like just strips all the way through and make a big quilt. I want to make a queen size quilt because I want to give it to her later on in life. She doesn't necessarily have to use it. Now I'm getting hot. She doesn't necessarily have to use the quilt, but I think it would be a really good memory. Um, so now I'm trying to figure out what my gut is saying as to whether or not I want to make like strips and strips into a block, because quilts have like the squares of the different colors and everything like that. Or if I just want to use the You're Kicking Me Smalls as the middle piece and then just straight up just do strips all the way around until I get a queen size quilt. So that is the main thing that I think I need to like, really think about. But other than that, I already know that I want strips, point blank, period. And how I'm gonna put those strips onto this quilt that I'm making is something that I need to just think about a little bit. Not go all into, well, what if I do it and da 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 da. No, I want to know, like, for myself. My question is, if I do the strip, like how in my head, in my mind's eye, how would it look if it's all the way strips and like building out? Or maybe can I combine the two? So what I'm going to do in order to decide is to do a sample of both. And at the end of the day, I'm going to use them both regardless. I will try and blend it in. But I have more than enough clothes to do a sample of. I don't know if I would really be able to do a sample because I don't want to ruin the middle piece. And if I start one way, I feel like I'm going to need to finish it. Look, I'm doing the mind thing. I'm going to make a sample. One of the stripes going into a square, going into a block, and then one of just back and forth strips. And then I'm going to pin them to the main piece. I'm coming, mama. Then I'm going to pin them to the main piece and make my decision from there. I think I figured it out. So stay tuned. I'm going to work on that and we'll be back. Live life and love it to the fullest.